Hey everyone, Therese here, and welcome to day 2 of our Fearlessly Fit Meal Plan and Prep workshop. I hope at this point you have already watched the first video. If not, go watch that first. You are going to need to watch them in order. It's just going to make better sense for you guys. So if you haven't yet, watch that first, then come back over here, okay? For those of you who have already watched it, awesome. I hope it made sense. As a quick review on what the meal plan system I've been using is, I call it my 1, 2, 3 meal planning system. It just sounds easy and cool, and you get it when you think 1, 2, 3. You're like, oh, 1 breakfast, 2 lunches, 3 dinners. 1, 2, 3. Voila. So that is my overview. That's the 1, 2, 3 meal plan system. Today I am going to actually go over how I personally utilize that system for me and my family. And this is just to give you guys an understanding that how this can work for, just for an example family, but also how you tweak it. Because few people are going to be able to use just the 1, 2, 3 on its own. That's the base. That's the foundation for your meal plan. You want to take that and then tweak it a little bit for your specific individual circumstances, your family's circumstances. Yes, I still have a cold. I apologize for the stuffy nose. Not much I can do about it right now. I did try the neti pot yesterday. It didn't seem to work. I don't know if I did it wrong or what. But anyway, so I want to give you guys an overview of the meal plan that I'm using. I will be uploading it to the document section or the file section of this group, so you can get a better look at what it is that I'm eating and how it fits into plan. And I'm also going to be giving you guys resources on my favorite places to go to get inspiration for my meal plans, because I don't like to do the same thing all the time. I do like to change it up a little bit. So with that being said, here is what first and foremost, I want to let you know how I tweak this meal plan system. And I tweak it mostly for my son. He's 2 years old. He's a boy. He absolutely hates vegetables. He's picky with his meats. Pretty much the only thing that I know that he's guaranteed to eat is fruit. I mean, even breads and pasta is kind of up in the air. Although he loves cereal bars, go figure, and popcorn and pizza. I know he'll eat pizza. But he can't have that every single day. And I'm not going to give him fruit all day long. It's just not going to happen. I don't want to clean that up. Sorry, not sorry. So I do tweak this for him a little bit. Our meal plan is such, and I touched on this in the video yesterday. How I tweak it is simply that I will look at a different breakfast and lunch for him. And then whatever we're having for dinner, I expect him to eat. If he doesn't eat it, he doesn't eat it. And he gets nothing else for the rest of the night, and he has never starved. So that's kind of how we work things. Because he's kind of limited in the things that he likes at the moment, we do try to change it up. We will feed him new things that we bring into the house just to see what he likes and what he doesn't. But he's pretty predictable. I mentioned the other day, at this point, what we give him in the morning is Rice Krispies with whole milk and some chopped up fruit, usually strawberries and bananas, because he loves them. He absolutely loves Rice Krispies. For lunch, it's usually like bread with PB&J with orange slices and like a cheese stick, or like a regular sandwich, or sometimes tortillas and salsa. He'll eat. That's kind of stuff we'll pack for him to go to school, because he goes to school 2 days a week. And then, of course, his snacks are his snacks, like get cereal bars and raisins and things like that. So we'll do that for him. Anything that we know that he likes, we'll keep on in stock for him. So we tweak it so that my meal plan is really for myself and my husband, not so much for my son. So you need to tweak this for your family. You may make it so that you have a 2, 3, 4 meal plan system, and you have 2 breakfasts and 3 lunches and 4 meals for the week. I don't know. You might have a 1, 2, 3 meal plan system for you and your husband, and a completely different one for your kids. I don't know. It's up to you to decide. But you will have to make compromises, and you will have to kind of put your foot down, especially if if you have kids. Obviously this is for people who have kids, and it is if you have a spouse and you've got a picky spouse or your dietary preferences or habits are different. There is going to be a time where you might just have to say, you know what, you have to cook your own damn food. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it's going to have to be. You can't please everybody, and you shouldn't have to, especially as a spouse or a parent. You're not a short order cook. If you're the one buying the groceries and making the meals, you get a say in what the family eats. So you do get to be that person. That's my philosophy in my family. Again, I'm lucky that I have a husband who does love food as much as I do and is willing to experiment with good food and appreciates the fact that I make him food. My son, however, does not. He really doesn't. So this is kind of how you can tweak the system for your own purposes. You can decide to have one breakfast for you, and maybe nobody else in your family gives a damn about breakfast and they'd rather just have Rice Krispies. Perfect. You know, you just need to buy Rice Krispies every day or every week. You can make something different for you that's healthier, and you can add that to your own meal plan. Lunches, if you have kids in school, it might be a little bit different. Maybe you give them lunch money, but maybe you're trying to get away from that. My suggestion is if you want your kids who are old enough to be able to decide what they want to eat, have them sit down with you and do the meal plan with you and say, what do you guys want to eat? We're not eating this, or this. So you can't have frozen pizzas, Hot Pockets, whatever. It's going to be relatively healthy. You're going to sit down with me and we're going to find something that you like. If they're the ones who choose it and you make it, they're far more likely to eat it. Even if they're younger, even if they're 5 or 6 years old, they might actually want to do this with you. And I'm going to talk about that when it comes to meal prepping. But if you get your family involved in meal planning, they're more likely to eat it. So again, and it's the same with your spouse. If you have a spouse who's kind of picky about things, if you sit him down, or if he's watching TV and you say, honey, I'm just going to look at some meal plans. Can you be available for me to bounce some ideas off of you? And if you, depending on the spouse, you could say, what are your absolute no's and what are your absolute yeses? And then you can go hog wild and look for some recipes that maybe you can both compromise on. Okay. So the more, if you need to satisfy your family, the more you get them involved, the more likely they are to eat it. So that's honestly, that's all I have to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now my meal plan for the week. And again, I will upload it, but I'm going to actually tell you what it is. So our breakfast for the week, it's a little different with this week. Normally I'll make one breakfast for myself and my husband, and then of course Rice Krispies at this stage in my toddler's life for Quentin. But we actually had some leftover little bits of yogurt because they were on sale because it was expiring this week, and my husband loves yogurt with granola. So he's decided that's what he's going to have all week. He's going to have yogurt with a little bit of granola and some fruit. And my son is having Rice Krispies with fruit. It's still one. We're having it every single morning. For me, I've already posted the photo. I'm having my faux oatmeal, my squash oatmeal. I love it. It's super healthy for you and it's so tasty. And that's what I'm having for the week. So it's technically still one breakfast. It's just one breakfast for 3 people. And I only have to actually make ahead of time, if I want to, my own breakfast. Everything else is super easy peasy. So that's the breakfast for the week. Lunches, I have, we've been doing something different in the family and we really like it. We're trying to only have meat once a day at dinner, and everything else is vegan or vegetarian. So usually we'll have eggs for breakfast when we want to have eggs. But lunches, I've been going completely vegan or vegetarian, and this week I'm having, and I just posted the recipe for this, the broccoli and cashew cheese quinoa salad, or you can use it as a burrito if you'd like. And then we're alternating between that and the Protein Power Goddess Bowl. It sounds silly, but it's actually just another quinoa bowl. We normally don't have this much quinoa, but I just wanted to put it down there because I really enjoy it. It's like it's a creamy tahini lemon. Sorry, I can't speak. It's like a creamy lemony quinoa salad that is different from the broccoli and cashew cheese, just to put that out there. It's very different. I made it a ton of times, both salads, because they're basically warm salads, but you can eat them warm or cold. They're hearty to have enough on their own, or you can put it over top of a bed of greens, and it makes for a really nice hearty salad. So we're going back and forth between those. So one day we'll have the broccoli and cashew cheese quinoa salad, and the other day we'll have the protein powered goddess bowl. And then we'll just go back and forth throughout the week. That is for myself and for my husband, especially for my husband, because if he's at work, he needs something that's easy. He can heat things up, but it's easier if he doesn't, especially because sometimes he doesn't have a lot of time to actually think about eating. So for him to be able to just pull it out and eat at his desk, it's perfect. So these are great for him. This is for he and myself. And Quentin, like I said, gets usually some sort of PB&J sandwich with orange slices and cheese strings and things like that. Dinner, our 3 dinners this week are on Monday and Thursday. We're having it's called the Taj Mahal chicken. It's actually just a fancy name for chicken curry, and with candied carrots. And don't think that candied isn't healthy. It's actually just naturally sweetened with dates. And don't worry, everything that I'm telling you here, I will be posting the recipes for coming up throughout the week. You might not get them all today, but it'll come out throughout the week, especially with these dinners and stuff. Tuesdays and Fridays, we're having salmon cakes with an orange and fennel salad. And that's Tuesday and Fridays. And Wednesdays and Saturdays, we're going to have a leek and potato soup with steak fajitas. It's basically without the tortilla though. Steak fajitas and fiddleheads as they're in season. So I'm really excited about that. And then whatever we have left over can repurpose, we'll be using on Sunday. Sundays I tend to leave for special days. I tend to like to make healthy pancakes on Sunday mornings when Alan gets up and have a nice brunch. And then we'll have leftovers for dinner. It's just a special thing we do in our family. So that's really the breakdown of the week. We do have snacks, and I do plan snacks, and our snacks are super, super boring. Pretty much we alternate between fruit and raw nuts or veggies and hummus for myself and my husband. We're fine with that. It doesn't bother us. You might get bored with that, and you might want to change that up a bit, but that's what we do. And this week we're choosing veggies and hummus. We'll just do it every week, and then next week we'll probably do a fruit and some raw nuts. So we're alternating between those two. So this week is veggies and hummus, and we always have a nutritional shake every single day. It's how we roll. It's how we feel healthy. It's the best thing that we can drink in our day, a good quality nutritional shake, which we almost always have with about a cup of frozen fruit and a little bit of nut butter, like almond butter. That's what we have in the morning for a morning snack or just after our workout. So that is our meal plan for the week. Again, I'm going to have it in our file section, so you can give it a shot. Unless you have control of your own schedule and your family is just exactly like mine, feel free to copy that. However, I would suggest you don't. And the reason is meal plans are nice, and this is why I normally do not give a set meal plan for people, because it's just you don't learn that way. This is just an example. It's how I do things. You need to learn how to do this for you and your family. So you may absolutely despise quinoa. I'm not a huge fan, but in these dishes, I really like them. Or some of you don't like squash. So why would you eat what I'm telling you to eat if you don't like it? This is just an example. You're being given a ton of healthy recipes throughout the week, so you do not have to take these ones. But I'm giving you the recipes because you can maybe put them into your meal plan down the line. So I don't like giving people the fish. I like to teach people how to fish. It's much more efficient that way. You're going to learn better that way, and you're going to feel more proud about yourself that way. So that's just my little aside. I just have a couple more things to say and we'll wrap up. Sorry, out of the way. Oh, I haven't had a cold since I've been pregnant. This is ridiculous. I want to give you guys a couple of meal planning resources. These are the places where I go to for my meal plans every single week. And I'll put this list as well in the file section. Usually what I'll do is if I have something in the house that, like a fruit or a vegetable that I want to use up, I just go to Google and I'll just say, Google, Instagram, or Pinterest. Usually Pinterest, to be quite honest. I'll go on there and I'll say healthy recipes with fennel. Because not everybody has fennel in the house. I do because it came in my organic bin last week, and I've had it before. The fennel and orange salad is great. I'll be sharing that with you this week. Just go to Pinterest and say healthy recipes with blank, and you're going to get a ton of them that pop up. Or you might do it with a vegetable or a meat or something that you're just like, I'm so sick of making this over and over and over again. I want something different and I want something healthy. Or maybe you love something like lasagna and you want a healthier version. Go on Google, go on Pinterest, say healthy lasagna. Or I usually like to do this. It doesn't always work out that way, but I say the world's best, healthiest lasagna or something like that. Anybody can claim that theirs is the best, but usually you get some pretty good ones. So the places where I go to for my inspiration every week, I do go on Pinterest and I pin lots of stuff. And you guys can follow me on Pinterest if you want, and you can check out my boards. It's Therese Lean, Thereselean. It's my main name. And you can follow me on there. I'll go on Instagram and I'll just screenshot anything that pops up and save it to my camera roll. Sometimes I go on Google if I'm looking for something specific. What else do I do? I go to one of my favorite websites is oshiglows.com. It is a vegan website. I've been following Angela for years. I go to her website and I have her cookbook, which is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal if you want healthy recipes. And if you have a sweet tooth, she's got like the best vegan sweets ever. And I have never made anything from her website or recipe book that has never turned out. And I've been using her recipes since I think 2008. So it's been a long time. And I made a lot of her recipes. So hers is one of my favorite websites. theclothesthatmakethegirl.com sounds silly, but it's actually a recipe website. Is another one of my favorite ones. This is a paleo one. Can you tell? I don't fit into a label. I eat what my body likes. So I go to theclothesmakethegirl.com. I've totally forgotten her name. The person who does that website, she actually has two cookbooks, Well Fed and Well Fed 2. I have the second one, and that's where the chicken curry that I'm going to be posting, that's where that comes from. So I use those all the time. Practical Paleo is another one of my go-to cookbooks because I am autoimmune, and this cookbook is all about autoimmune, helping people with autoimmune disease. So I use that all the time. In fact, the candied carrots and the salmon cakes come from the Practical Paleo book. This is my meal plan. Sorry, I could share it with you guys. That came from that. TheTeamBeachbody.com, if you ever go there, their recipe section is awesome. All super healthy wet recipes. And if you do any of their programs, including 21 Day Fix, you will even get the container breakdown, which is really, really handy. So I'll go to the Beachbody blog. Those are really, honestly, Oshi Glows, Well Fed / theclothesmakethegirl.com, Practical Paleo, the Team Beachbody blog I go to, and Pinterest. Those are where I go to for my inspiration all the time. And then with that, we've been able to kind of create our own menu. And so I'll ask my husband, is there anything you're craving this week? And he might say, yeah, I want a chili. So I'll go to my go-to chili and I'll make that from something I might have made before. After a while, the more you do this, start writing down the things that your family loves, you love, your husband loves, whatever loves, that's super, super healthy, and start creating your own family menu. And that you can pull out these recipes whenever you want to. Guys, you are only limited by your own box. So it's time to start getting out there and be creative. I know some people have food hang-ups, but trust me, you're not going to die. You're not going to go broke. And no babies are going to die if you eat something that you don't like. It's okay. And I mean, I know there's people who have severe anxiety around food. I am not your therapist. You need to work that out. But seriously, get creative. Get creative. However, if that doesn't float your boat and you're totally fine in having chicken carrots every night for dinner, just plan to have that every night and be boring. That's okay too. I kind of go between the two. I'm boring in that we tend to recycle the same meals several times throughout the week, but then the next week we completely change it up and have something different. So it's still providing variety. It's just not every single day because that's expensive and it takes a long time. It just takes a long time. So make it your own. Make this meal plan your own and really, really put your family together and ask them to come together to help you out with this. Just say, we're going to start eating a little bit healthier and I want you guys to help me out. You guys can go on Pinterest and find things that you want to eat and you can send it over to me and we will sit down and we'll create a meal plan, okay? A couple of other tips that you can look at while you're on Pinterest or Google or Instagram, look for crock-pot meals. I love a crock-pot meal. I make at least one crock-pot meal a week. It's so easy. You can batch cook it in there and make a lot, like chilies, and then you can freeze it if you want to. Crock-pot meals are easy and great. You can even get your kids to make it. It's awesome. Warm salads like I'm having for lunch this week. Those are really great to have. You can make a huge batch of them. They're also great to take to parties, that like healthy warm salads to take to parties. And you can make a huge batch of them and just have it cold or just pop it in the microwave for a couple of seconds or just reheat it over the stove. And usually warm salads are also pretty filling, so you don't need to eat as much. Freezer meals. I know a lot of people are obsessed with freezer meals. I'm not really into freezer meals. Usually what I do is I'll batch cook and then I'll freeze what I can left over. I did this when I was pregnant and I was nesting hardcore, and I made like 3 dozen portions of soup. I think I made about 2 dozen. This was before I had to go gluten-free. I think I made 2 dozen pasta dishes, and like I made a ton of stuff. And I was doing that while I was batch cooking for that very week as well. I would actually make like double to triple batches of whatever I was making and what we were going to eat for that week. I packaged them up and I put them in our deep freeze for after we had Quentin, and they were lifesavers, absolute lifesavers. Batch cooking and freezing is also really great for seasonal produce. That gets starting to come out now. Fiddleheads are now out and asparagus is out. There's so much that's starting to come out now. Now is the time to start buying these things in bulk when they're cheaper. And you can either put them together uncooked, just chop them up with other vegetables, put them uncooked and like save in your freezer so you can just bring them out and throw them in the wok or something. Or just saving to have on hand for in the wintertime. It's a great time to do that. And then another way to do it, especially if you're on a budget, is to look at flyers. When your flyers come in, look at your flyers, look at the sales for vegetables and your proteins, and build your plan around that. You can make a list and say this, and this is on sale. I'm going to go on Pinterest. I'm going to go on Google. I'm going to go on the Fearlessly Fit Nation like page. If you guys haven't liked my page yet, go there and click like. I share lots of recipes on there, and I will be sharing a lot more in the future. You could just go on and say, okay, like, I don't know, chicken breast is on sale, healthy recipes with chicken breast, or asparagus is on sale, healthy asparagus recipes. You can use that, and that's going to help you to save money, and it's going to help you to meal. You've got a set meal plan right there. You know what's on sale. You know you're going to buy this stuff. Then you can go. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you got a lot of tips out of that and some good resources, and that you're kind of feeling ready to get out there and create. So we have our contest question for you guys today. And this one is really to help everyone here, because I'm only one person and this is how I do things, and you might do things differently. So your contest question for today is, it's not even a question. It's an action I want you to do. I want you to post your favorite healthy, I don't want to see like cheesy ass pizzas unless it's a healthy version of pizza. I want you to post your favorite healthy cookbook or website, your go-to cookbook, and provide the Amazon link so people can go buy it. or the website you love to go to that you go to all the time, or maybe you visited once and you're like drooling over everything, or maybe it's a Pinterest board of somebody who you love all of their stuff. I don't want a specific recipe here. I want a resource, a place for people to go, or a book for people to buy to get lots of inspiration. So post your favorite healthy cookbook or website in the comments to this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow when I introduce you to meal prepping. And we're going to talk about meal prepping and different ways you can meal prep, and I'm going to be walking you guys through on Thursday how I've been meal prepping. This meal plan this week is a little bit different than what I normally do, okay? So thanks guys for sticking in there, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.